Hello. Good evening. Let's give thanks and praise to the Most High for this lovely occasion. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Almighty God and our most loving Father, we come before you tonight with praises and thanks for your wonderful works that you have been doing on us, O God. Almighty God, bless this occasion, O Lord. Bless this organization as we go ahead tonight. We ask for your continued guidance and your protection. We ask for you to bless the food, O God. Bless all the people who are here. Reach out to all the people who help us to get here, O God. Almighty God, thou seest and knowest the occasion while we are here, O God. We are here and we gather to help each other, to help the school that we passed through that school, O God, back in Jamaica. And we have a lot of people who support us, O God, so we ask you to bless them as they help us. Almighty God, there are some people who still are on the way coming. We ask you to guide them and protect them and get them here safe. We ask you to bless this organization, this lovely place where we are standing in this moment, O God. We ask that you continue to guide them and that they may reach out to others in the community to help us, O God. Almighty God, I pray for each and every one of us who are here tonight, that when we leave this place, we all get back home safely. So Lord God Almighty, we give you thanks and praise. All these I ask Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Am I pronouncing it Barn? Am I pronouncing it Barn for the EAHS and not national song? And I wanted to say on your behalf, you forgot to ask the Lord to hasten the footsteps of those who are coming, as well as keep us up as we dance the evening away. But anyhow, I will say that to our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. At this time, we are going to have the welcome by the treasurer, and that's none other than Mr. Benjamin Montgomery. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I want to thank every one of you for coming to participate with us this evening and to, of course, fundraising as well. I mean, if I told my 11-year-old self this 50 years ago, that I would be standing here, unless I lie, may tell. But but I should, and I'm proud to, welcome you all here. And I hope that we have a beautiful and, of course, plan to come back next year and the other year and the other year to support us. Because we will and always be supporters of the Edwin Allen High School in Jamaica, West Indies. Thanks again for coming.
I thought Barry White was dead, but he's there with us. What a guys. Don't you all feel welcome? I tell you. Come back and say one more something, sir. No, go on. I'm going to just ask the house engineer if he just do me a favor. I want to be able to look at the people and interact with them. I can't see them under this lighting. I know that we're creating an ambience, but I'm going to kindly ask the house engineer to turn up the lights. Please. Afterwards, we can go back when we start the dinner. Yes. So give yourself a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You can do better than that. I know that there are more than 50 of you in the room. That's what I'm talking about. But miss me, you know what? I wasn't supposed to do this again this year, you know, and every year they said it's a puppy show. But let me tell you all something. This is it. Organizers, don't call me back because I'm moving back to Jamaica. I just want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that I am proud and honored and privileged to be asked to stand in this capacity to be your master of ceremony. And I'm hoping and trusting that I will serve you well this evening. But you have to cheer me on, okay? All right. At this time, Miss Jennifer, who is the president of the organization, I'm going to ask you to come forward and give your opening remarks. Miss Jennifer, come and give your opening remarks. Make her feel welcome, man. Do better than that. Yes. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. It is with profound gratitude and excitement that I extend a warm welcome to each of you. On behalf of the officers and board members from the Edwin Allen High School Alumni Association, Mid-Atlantic Chapter, New York. For those of you who, if you don't know me, I'm going to just let you know my name is Jennifer Bulita Lewin Small. I am actually very excited that I took over from Mr. Burrell, who did an excellent job over the years he was president. So tonight, we gather with a clear purpose and a bold declaration. Meritocracy has no place here. In a world that is constantly evolving, where expectations are rising and excellence is no longer optional but essential, we are called to raise the bar, not just for ourselves, but for the communities, organizations, and the future we represent. Rest assured, I am committed to working alongside our organization. We have a really incredible team that we ensure our beloved school remains a beacon of excellence. We will continue to equip future generations of students with tools they need to face the challenges of tomorrow with confidence and resilience. I am equally devoted to carrying forward the tradition of supporting both the academic and athletic programs of Edwin Allen High School. Looking ahead, I see a bright and optimistic future, one built on the solid foundation of our outstanding alumni, dedicated board members, and engaged communities. When I say engaged communities, I'm speaking directly to each and every one of you. It must be a reason why you took the time to be here tonight. Together, we will continue to strengthen our efforts and elevate our impact on the school and its students. Thank you.
give Mrs. Hall another round of applause. And she's the new Mr. President for the Alumni Mid-Atlantic chapter. Let's start enjoying yourself, yes? Now, you may be following along in your program, and you may notice that I'm all over the place. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because of being strategic. We are off to a late start, and I just want to ensure that we get all the key information out to you in the interest of time so you can dance the evening away, because I get to understand that some of you came here just to dance. Let me see all those who are past members or students of the Edwin Allen alumni, Edwin Allen High School, rather. Turn on the lights, I can't see them. Okay, so those of you who aren't past students of Edwin Allen High School, please stand. Those of you who aren't past students of Edwin Allen. Now I want you to give those past students a round of applause. And I'm going to call on one young lady who I invited to sit at my table. Can you please ask that young lady that is sitting at table 7? Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't get her name, but I'm going to ask her to come. Come here. Yes, you, my darling. Come here. Yes, come. I'm going to give her a round of applause as she comes. Oh. No, not you. Come, stand up, stand up. Let me come out here. May I you? Oh, I know, man, I use the off the coat. That's all right. Come, let's stand up out here, so we. Oh, what a wonderful thing. Let's stop the laughing. All right. What is your name, my darling? All right. This is Ms. Lorraine Anderson. Give her a round of applause. Who can guess how long she's been a past student of Edwin Allen High School? How long? Yeah, no, you almost, somebody said 51. Add 3 more years to that 51. 54 years she's been a past student of alumni. And yesterday's shoe is not correct. When I saw this young lady walking this evening, I said, what a woman is calling today. Don't tell anyone to play today. Give her another round of applause. All right. Are you having a good time yet? All right. Now, it's Mr. Donovan Wilson in the house. He did not make it. Is there any representative from Union of Jamaica Alumni Association here? No one? No message came? All right, moving right along. Mr. DJ, you don't have that one? Okay. He's a Christian. He has practiced. applause. He's not like the one last year who did it all the time. Who remember that song last year? Man up is laugh, a woman up is laugh, ten. I'm going to call none other, yes, I'm moving the program right along in the interest of time, and I'm going to be calling on Dr. Teresa Gray to come and introduce the keynote speaker. We don't want the keynote speaker to be here waiting too long to give his inspiring speech. He came all the way from across the pond, and we want him to speak to us. Give her another round of applause. Dr. Gray.
Okay, guys, this is a abridged version. The long version, you can read it in the book, in the journal. Okay. Deniz, who is affectionately known as Skip, was born in Derbyshire, England. After leaving high school, he attended London University, where he received Bachelor's of Science honors degree in physics in 1971. He decided to take a gap year first as a physics teacher with a voluntary service overseas. Luckily for us, he took the job of the physics teacher at Edwin Allen High School, which was then known as Frankfield High School in Canada, Jamaica, where he was the only physics teacher. Instead of returning to the UK to study medical electronics, which was his original plan, he stayed at Frankfield High because he fell in love with teaching physics. He pursued a diploma in education at the University of the West Indies, gaining a distinction in both theory and practice of education. This turned out to be the best decision of his life, as he met, in his own words, the girl of his dreams, Jermaine, a fellow history teacher who he married in 1977. The marriage has produced a son, David, and a beautiful granddaughter. During his tenure at Frankfield High School, apart from being an excellent teacher, he co-authored 2 physics books. He represented Jamaica on the physics panel commissioned to write the original physics syllabus for the new Caribbean CSC examination. Under his tutelage, students enter the annual Inter-School Science Exhibition year after year. The newly named Edwin Allen High School was feared and respected by secondary schools and colleges across Jamaica, as they always took home the first prize in this science competition. Skip is an accomplished musician, composer, a talented drummer. He played in various Jamaican reggae bands before committing his musical talent exclusively to the Christian ministry. Skip was the founder and leader of the popular Sonic Salvation Gospel Band. The band has played in almost every town in Jamaica. He is an author. His book, The Color of My Heart, gives a non-fiction account of his life in Jamaica. It's certainly a page-turner. He's retired in his hometown with his wife in the UK. He now spends his time helping with various charitable organizations, traveling around the UK as a motivational speaker, focusing on combating all forms of racism and encouraging his audience to embrace loving human relationships, irrespective of culture, color, class, or nationality. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Deniz, affectionately known as
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure and a privilege to be here this evening. And I've already met so many of my former students whose names, I regret to say, I've forgotten. But there we are. I've been told by my wife that I can remember anything as long as it's physics and maths. I was going to start with the Jamaican national anthem. My brother Glenn was going to play it on the keyboard, but there's no keyboard. And I was going to try and sing it. But singing is not really my forte, and so it's a good thing that we sang it already. And I just want to make a few comments on the Jamaican national anthem, because whenever I sing it, it really stirs my heart. It's almost as if the author of the words is giving us a foretaste of heaven. He tells us that we want a country of truth and justice, and leaders who are blessed with wisdom. And that's a rare thing in today's world. So I think with an anthem like that and a national motto, which is of course out of many, one people, that's something we can be proud of. And I say we because although you and I may no longer live in Jamaica, Jamaica lives in us. I want to move on now, and I'll just mention that Teresa told me that don't speak too long. Jamaica people get restless. And she also said if you go on too long, you're not getting nothing from young. I want to just say a few words now about Compton. Now, when I arrived at the school, its name at that point was Frankfield High School, and then in brackets, Comprehensive. And I think the name reflected the vision of the MP at the time who lived in Frankfield, the Right Honourable Edwin Allen, and he had a remarkable vision because, as far as I'm aware, at that time, if you wanted secondary education in Jamaica at one of the high schools like Clarendon College, Calibar and Excelsior, you had to pay for it. And Edwin Allen came up with a very novel idea of founding a school where secondary education would be free to all students who could show the necessary aptitude for secondary level studies. And he not only founded a high school like all the other high schools in Jamaica at the time, but one which offered a very wide range of subjects. things like auto mechanics and electrical installation and welding, things like the commercial subjects, agriculture. The list goes on and on. It was a remarkable feat, and I think we have a great debt of gratitude owed to the Right Honourable Edwin Allen. I'd like to acknowledge the current principal of the school, Mr. Jermaine Harris, who I'm sure is carrying on in the tradition of the principals who've gone through the school and doing a great job. So I hope that during, thank you. I hope that during the course of the evening, we'll all be prepared to support his efforts and the efforts of the school, which is why we're here tonight. We're not just here for a dance and for a big feast. We're here to give our support to the Edwin Allen High School, as it's called today. I just want to spend a few moments to give you an idea of my origins. If I can get this. There we go. There we are. Yeah. I think a lot of people probably don't know that I'm actually mixed race. My father originally came from Turkey. He left that country and came to England, or went to England to study metallurgy. And while he was at Sheffield University, he met my mother, who was also there studying English. They fell in love, and a couple of years after the Second World War, got married, and then in in 1949 I was born. If I look back on my childhood and teenage years, I think there are probably two things that really stand out. My love for physics and my love of music. By the age of 13, I was leading my first band. And here is a picture of me playing the drums in that band. And here's a picture of all the guys in the band. I don't know why we never had girls in the band, but I carried on with playing the drums right through university, and in order to help pay for my university course, I actually got, every summer, I got a job as a ship's musician on the cruise ships, which was a fantastic job, because you got your board and lodging and all the trips that the tourists got, and all I had to do was play the drums in the lounge each evening, which I enjoyed anyway. So, well, that carried on until the end of my course at London University, and I had to make a decision what I was going to do next after the course. Well, I thought of several options and eventually settled on the idea of doing medical physics. And I got a place at St. Bartholomew's Hospital and a course which was fully funded to do a doctorate in that subject. However, while I was looking around at options, I just happened to see a poster on the London Underground for an organisation called Voluntary Service Overseas. And I thought, well, that looks interesting. And I phoned the number on the poster, and they said, well, they don't have any openings at that point. This was around Christmas time, third year of university. They didn't have any openings at that time for someone to teach physics. And so I thought, well, I've got the place now to do the medical physics degree, so no problem. And then, right before the end of my time at university, I got a call, and thank you, Alvin. One of my former students, I got a call from VSO saying, if you're still interested, we have an opening to teach physics at a secondary school. And I thought, oh wow, the timing's really bad. I've just accepted the course now to do the PhD. But I thought, well, I'll run across to the office, the other side of London, and just see what it's about. And I went into this meeting, and they were telling me about this post at a secondary school. And so I said, you know, I was a bit impatient. I said, well, where is it? And they said, it's in Jamaica in the West Indies. And I said, put me down. And so in 1971, I left England and took a flight to Kingston, Jamaica, and from there a minibus took me to Frankfield in Clarendon. And if I can get this, here we go. Now, interestingly enough, the part of England that I originate from is very like Clarendon. It's got the hills and the valleys and the rivers. The vegetation's a little different, but the actual lie of the land is very similar, so I felt quite at home in Frankfield. And as soon as I got there, I made friends. I think actually the person on the right of that picture is here this evening. No, it's not Harry Batic. Harry Batic is the one second from the left. And I got involved in music almost immediately. It's as if in Jamaica, a lot of doors open once people know you're a musician. And I got involved with several reggae bands, the most well-known of which was a band called Third Generation. And we were playing around Jamaica most weekends and backing up various reggae artists. And that was my outfit at that time. And the person on the left, it was actually another Englishman who was teaching biology at Colin. So the two of us became good friends and working there at the same time. Now, I want to say a few words about Mr. Latty, Frederick Latty. He was the principal at Compre when I went there. And I think we immediately hit it off. He was a bit like a fatherly figure. A fatherly figure to me, and we'd have some quite lengthy conversations. The most important of which was the fact that when I arrived at Compre to teach physics, there was no physics lab. And I complained bitterly to Mr. Latty about this. And I said, Mr. Latty, I'm sharing a laboratory with biology. Now, things like cutting up dead frogs and so on, it's not really my kind of thing. I want to do experiments with electricity and light and heat and so on. So Mr. Latty explained that in fact, Compre at that time had not been fully completed. In fact, the plans originally had a third story on top of the biology lab with a physics lab and about 3 other classrooms. So I said, well, you know, when is that going to happen? And he said, well, all good things come to those who wait on the Lord. Now, bearing in mind, I wasn't a Christian at the time. So I thought, well, hope the Lord gets a move on. So I just had to be patient. And the conversation finished with Mr. Latty saying, Mr. Onac, I see from your resume that you are very involved with scouting. Now, we used to have a scout group at the school, but it folded up, and I was wondering if you would be willing to restart it. Well, it was difficult to say no. So I decided, right, let's see what we can do with scouting at Compre. And I think there are some of the original scouts. I'm not sure if there are anybody here this evening who's on that picture. Look at those legs. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to donate a mic stand to Colin. Yeah, so we had a great time in the Scouts, and it is a picture. We used to go on parades, not only in Frankfurt, I think actually that's in Clarendon, and the boys really had a good time. I mean, we went camping all around the country, and every summer we'd have a summer camp at Puerto Seco on the north coast, and they loved it. Mr. Latty and I, as I say, got on really well, but there are one or two things where we didn't quite see eye to eye. I was quite, I suppose, rebellious and adventurous at that tender age of 21, and I would feel quite comfortable going to Compre to teach in a t-shirt, and sandals. Now, Mr. Latty wasn't too keen on my attire, added to which, by this time, my hair had grown quite long. And because I was playing in the reggae bands, it sort of fitted the image of a reggae musician. So, anyway, Mr. Latty was kind enough to overlook my idiosyncrasies. And then a very interesting thing happened. One school holiday, I think actually I took a trip back to the UK, and on my return, and I walked up the school drive round the bursar's office as it was then, something looked different. And there in front of me was a picture of heaven, a new physics lab. I don't know what strings Mr. Latty must have pulled, but during that holiday, a new physics lab was built on top of the biology lab in its correct position. And then 3 other classrooms, and I think that was the 3rd story of A block. But anyway, inside that laboratory, it was absolutely beautiful. The benches were made of teak, and there were beautiful cupboards round the sides, and sinks and gas taps, everything a physics teacher could want for. And I thought to myself, I wonder if this is a bribe. Maybe Mr. Latty is saying something to me with this. Anyway, he was also kind enough to allow me to go into Kingston and purchase all the equipment we needed. And so I had not only a beautiful room, but a fully stocked laboratory. And that's when the subject started to take off. I think Teresa perhaps mentioned already the school's science exhibition. And I thought, well, it would be a fitting tribute to Mr. Latty's kindness to me for us to enter the school's science exhibition and see how well we can do. Now, at that time, the schools like, Kingston schools particularly, like Calibar, Excelsior, Arden, I mean, they dominated that competition. It was really a competition to see which school could really perform in the area of science most effectively. And so I decided, right, let's show these Kingston schools what's what. And we decided to work on a project to see if we could get hydroelectric power from the Rio Mino, which is the river running through Frankfield. And the students were just fantastic. And there are some here today who were, I think, in that group. And we were out every evening and weekends measuring the flow of water in the river and deciding a suitable situation for our power station and what kind of turbine we'd need and what kind of electric generator would be appropriate. And we were thinking maybe we could power the whole of Frankfield of the Rio Mino. Of course, at that point, I'd never seen one of the big floods where the water actually went over the old bridge in Frankfield, in which case the whole power station would have been washed away anyway. The preliminary competition was at Vanderbilt at Church Teachers College, And Mr. Latty very kindly hired a minibus to take myself and the team there, and also paid for the accommodation at the Teachers' College. I think we were there for four nights. And the students were just fantastic. And we won the preliminary competition hands down. But better than that, that meant we were then in the finals, which that year was going to be held in Mumbai. Now you can imagine the students, fifth form students at Compre, getting now a second trip, a 5-day trip to Montego Bay for the finals of the competition. And before we went, we would drill them with all the, I would go up to them and ask them the most difficult possible questions, because I said, the judges are going to have no mercy. And you'll be facing people like Dr. Alfred Sangster from CAST and physics teachers from UWI, and you've got to be able to answer their questions. So, we went to Montego Bay, and the students just performed perfectly. And I remember on the final day when the winning school was to be announced, there was a hush in the assembly hall. You could have heard a pin drop. And when the announcement was made that the winning school was Frankfield High School Comprehensive, honestly, the cheering could have lifted the roof off the building. And you can just imagine Mr. Latty's face when we returned to Compre laden with silver trophies and certificates, and he could inform the rest of the school in assembly that Compre was now at the top of the mountain. And so, of course, that then became a tradition, because the competition was held every year, and no longer was Compre thought of as that little backwater school in rural Clarendon. We were a school now to be feared and appreciated. And we entered the science competition every year. I think that I was there at Compre after that. And as far as I know, we never failed to win first place. So that was one of my experiences at Compre. Now, after a year, remember, I was supposed to go back to London to do this PhD, and I thought very hard about it and decided, well, maybe I should stay another year. And Mr. Latty was more than happy about that. My parents weren't happy at all back in England, but I made the decision, stayed on, and so 1 year became 2, 2 became 3, 3 became 4, and a few years later it was 14 years at Compre. And I never went back to do the course in London and the PhD. Instead, I think as Teresa mentioned, I did the DipEd in physics education at the University of the West Indies, and I just stayed on. I was happy doing what I was doing. Now, after a year or two in Frankfield, Frankfield is a bit cut off. And I thought, well, time for me to try and get a car. And I didn't have much money at the time, particularly when I was there as a volunteer. And so I bought this old Singer Vogue. You can just see the bonnet there. I deliberately didn't photograph the rest of the car. And as one might expect, after about 2 weeks, this beautiful car gave up the ghost and conked out. So I decided it was time I learned some auto mechanics, and I went on a shopping trip to Vanderbilt to try and get some parts. Now, I'm going on now to a slightly different area of this presentation, but I'm just going to say a few words about racism. Now, I think all of you who originated in Jamaica can be truly proud of the Jamaican motto, out of many one people, but racism has a way of just inching into all sorts of different areas. And I'm just going to relate one incident that I was personally involved with. I was walking through Mandeville carrying my shopping bag of car parts, and I passed a Rasta man sitting on a wall, and I didn't say anything to him. I don't think I even looked at him. He shouted out, "White man, we no want to know in a jam down." And we never do the man nothing. And by this time, the mischievous students at Compy had taught me all sorts of Jamaica bad words. So I was thinking to myself, what can I reply? How can I respond to this man? But then I said to myself, if I cut off the man, I'm sinking to that same level. So I decided, no, I'm going to respond in a loving way. And so I stopped and I looked at the man and I said, "What, brother, what on?" He said the man's face dropped like he man was dead. I would jump off the wall and run across the road and start shaking my hand over and over and over again. And he'd say, "Beg pardon, sir, beg pardon. Me did think there was a white man." Now, I know it was sunny, but I don't think my colour had changed in the space of that. So anyway, that incident, I think, set me on my course to fight against racism in all its ugly forms. And I'm sure many of you here today can say you've had experiences of racism here in the US, maybe now more than previously. And my father, when he came to England, he couldn't speak a word of English. And he experienced it. And as a child, I never really understood why he didn't want to talk about it. But I think I understand now, and I did after the incident in Mandeville. So, back in England now, when I do these presentations, which largely focus on Jamaica, I am on a crusade against racism back in England in all its forms. And I will keep doing that until I'm no longer able to do so. Now I must push on because Teresa gave me the warning. This part now is more for the ladies. I think it was around 1974, I went to a party at UWI in Kingston, and I was probably the only white person there. And there were some really attractive young ladies. And these were the days of the big afro, you know, and the short miniskirts. And I saw this group of Jamaican young ladies, and I sort of barged into the conversation. And obviously didn't make a very good impression, because my wife told me subsequently that her feelings on my breaking into their conversation was, what a rash, supercilious white man. Anyway, coming back now to Mr. Latty, the young lady who had caught my eye at this party was finishing her studies at UWI. I was then looking for a teaching post. And Mr. Latty offered her a teaching post at Conference. And she wasn't very set on the idea. It was a bit too rural, I think, she felt at the time. And also, Mr. Latty wasn't offering any accommodation. By this time, I had already got one of the teachers' flats down at the bottom by the playfield. And then it became apparent that the person who was in the flat next to me had decided to leave. And so Mr. Latty contacted the young lady who had applied for the job and said, Miss Tomlinson, I'm happy to inform you that there's now a teacher's apartment available for you as well. Well, that, I suppose, you can see why I was attracted. And I used to love those hairstyles, the big afro. You know, they were so fantastic, I thought. Anyway, we were living side by side. So it was sort of ideal for me to get to know my new neighbour. And one of the things I've not been blessed with was learning how to cook. And it so happened that this young lady, whose name was Joan, was an excellent cook. And every Sunday she would take mercy on me and cook me Sunday lunch, for which I was forever grateful. So, within a year, I would say, we weren't dating, although some of the students probably thought that we were. But I had fallen head over heels in love with this lady. And I decided, right, it looks like we're going to get married. Now, notice we were not dating. I hadn't asked her anything, we hadn't discussed anything, but that summer I went over to see my family back in England on a longish holiday, and I said to my family, who I'll just show you here, mother, father, brother, and twin sisters, I said to them, I have a surprise. I said, we're all ears now. And they said, yeah, go on, what is it? And I said, I'm getting married. And they said, what? Who to? And so I described this young lady who I was living next door to, and they said, well, are you already engaged then? And I said, well, no, she doesn't know yet. But I think the Lord had his plans for me and for Joe. And so in 1977, we did indeed get married. But here now, we got married twice. Now you may wonder, well, how can you get married twice? Well, we decided we were going to get married first in Jamaica, so that all our Jamaican friends could be present, and then we'd hop over the pond and get married again in England, so that all our English friends could attend the marriage. And of course we got 2 sets of wedding presents as well. So, here we are then. This is the couple of pictures from our first wedding, which was in Mandeville. And then, of course, we went over to England. And here was our second wedding. And then we decided, well, let's go caution to the wind and have a honeymoon in Paris. And so there we are in Paris. And there's my gorgeous wife sitting over there. And we've been married for nearly 50 years. At least she's put up with me for that long. And in, what was it, 1984, we finally had our son David, and who grew up rapidly. And here's just a couple of pictures. That's when he's about 10 years old, I think. Now, I have to say, he is a really smart cookie. And he got a place at Cambridge University in England, where he did the first of 5 degrees in music. Well, just before I conclude, I just want to say a word about my Jamaican gospel band, Sonic Salvation. Now, I became a Christian, I think it was 1975, and at that point I decided, well, I'm going to have to stop the reggae bands now, and I decided to focus on Christian music and I formed my own gospel band. And believe it or not, many of the initial musicians and singers in the band were students at Compry, and many of them are sitting right there on that table there. And here's a picture of us early days. On the left, we've got Philip Robinson, who is here tonight. Fifth from the left, we've got Glenn Johnson here tonight. And I'm the one on the right. And we used to travel around Jamaica in a minibus which I acquired. And you may wonder why the peculiar painting on the bus. That was the time of the real quarrels between the PNP and the JLP. And so I thought, if I have the colour of one party on one part of the band and the colour of the other party on the other part of the band, it would be safer for our travels around the island. And here's a more recent picture. You can see the band is expanded now, and quite a few female singers. And I think there's Chloe holding our son. And there's Ozzy, third from the left at the back. So, Sonic Salvation really was a blessing. We travelled around to almost every town in Jamaica. We did an overseas tour, and we recorded 36 original Jamaican gospel songs. Quite recently, I remastered those songs, because of course they were originally done on vinyl. And I just have, over there with Brother Alvin, I think there are just, well there were, unless some of them have gone, 10 sets of CDs with every one of Sonic Salvation's original songs. Now, let me say this, you can't get these on Amazon. So if you want a copy for yourself or for your children to listen to, Alvin is over there with these CDs. And while I mention it, the whole story of my time in Jamaica, which I refer to as the best 14 years of my life, are contained in this book, The Colour of My Heart, which you can get on Amazon, but we've got copies here, and if you're interested and you'd like to purchase one, do speak with Alvin, and if you want, I'm quite happy to put my signature inside, if that's of any value. Thank you. And I'll just show you the pictures of the albums that we did. That was the first one, 1979, 1980. 1981, and then sadly, and I'm concluding now, in 1985. Those of you who were in Jamaica at the time will remember that the economy crashed. It was a really difficult time, and we made the heartbreaking decision to leave. And if it hadn't been for the fact that your teacher's salary had just been going down and down and down, until it reached a point where, when we were doing a Sonic Salvation concert and I had to fill the van with petrol, one filling took half of my month's salary. So we did make the difficult decision to leave, but even now, I can say with hand on my heart, 1971 to 1985, those 14 years were the best 14 years of my life. And I still have more friends in Jamaica, or who were in Jamaica and have now spread out, USA, Canada, Bahamas, England. I have more friends from that era than I've made since. So, I'm not very good with the laptop. I'm trying to get this last picture. There we are. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alvin. There we are. That's a picture of the book, and I hope you enjoyed my story, and that you all have a very beautiful evening. And can I just say, the books and CDs that we sell, I intend to give a donation to Concord from whatever we get tonight. Thank you so much. God bless every one of you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give Mr. Skip another round of applause. I know you can do better than that. As we all know, the saying says, once you go black, skip on. We can now connect to the couple. So, he's been married to, where's Mrs. Skip? Mrs. Skip, come here. Come here, Mrs. Skip. I hope you haven't lost your Jamaican accent. Mrs. Skip, come here a minute now, please, come. You can tell that she's a true Jamaican, she take off her shoes. Come on, give Mrs. Skip a round of applause. Look how she's nice, she knows to keep her on. Oh my God. Look how you look down. Tell it to them like what you do now. Quick.
I am holding quick.
Give her another round of applause. Oh my. I have a little icebreaker, just a kind of break up that will happen me and get enough to shake up on itself. The house manager not following my lead, you know. Please turn off the lights. I hope I'm not speaking in Jamaican vernacular so that they don't understand what I'm saying. Turn, yes, ma'am, please, and thank you. So I want somebody, by the showing of hands, if you can tell me how much money I have in this glass, you get all. But you must do by showing of hands. And it's a number between between $40 and $50. So it's greater than 40 and not higher than 50. Nobody showing of hands. Thank you so much, sir. God bless. You're too far. You're probably never put up the glass to come from there. You can't answer. All right, who can tell? Where is Miss Diana? Come stand up beside me now, please. So by showing of hand, there's no one you. You were sitting at my table? Oh, all right. Now, all right, that lady back there, the one standing, that one went under the light. How much is in it? No, ma'am, not at all. But we have to go from side to side. Remember, there are two sides to the hall. So, all right, that lady back there waving the hand right, so get up and tell me. No, ma'am. How close you are, how close you are. All right, this gentleman in the yellow who is a patriot of Jamaica. 49. No, sir. Close, but you know, did I get? All right, let's go back to this side here now. We can't use my table because we know. All right, you lovely lady that is sitting there and flipping the wig. Yes. You right here, so my beloved. Yes, you, yeah, man. No, come on. You only say it's not 45, it's not 46, it's not 40, it's not 40, not 49. All right, I have to go back over this side. All right, come tell me. No, my darling. All right, who over here said $50? You said $50? No, but you get two chances. All right, who said $50? All right, come collect the gift. Yeah, give her a round of applause, come. And because you said $50, you're gonna get all. There you go. Jordan. She got a bottle of all. All right. At this time, this ostentatiously dressed individual, who happens to be an inspirator, and he inspires the children at the school that he is the administrator of. Anybody know who that person is? Well, I found out that it is my long-lost cousin. And so I'm going to ask the principal of Edwin Allen High School, none other than Mr. Jermaine Harris, to come forward and bring greetings. He might have to go back to Jamaica morning, so let me give it to you right now. Give him a round of applause, please. And I'm taking up for $50 in case he wants to put his money to church.
Wow. With such a icebreaker and such a story from Skip, I hope that my time at Edwin Allen will be that impactful, that I will have 14 years or more to really tell my story. That was really inspirational. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. What is playing skip? There is a thing playing here. Let's take a walk, skip. All right, I don't want to take up any more time because, good. So permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to stand on the existing protocol. My cousin, Master of Ceremonies, Michael, newly President of this association, President Small, guest speaker Skip. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My message is on page 9 of the magazine, so I'll keep my greetings really short. Last year I was ostracized by many for speaking at length, and I will not do so this year. I know that many of us are recovering from what would have happened at Champs 2025. And I know that many persons would have waged their bets, but the team came out a little bit short. And I do commit to you all that we are doing our debriefing and doing our reflection, and we will certainly reclaim our title in 2026. And that is coming from Coach Michael Dad. So don't get too despondent. Just make sure that when we call on you, you're willing to assist us. So we'll move our title to Idem, and we will reclaim the same next year. But first, let me congratulate Mrs. Jennifer Louis Small, our newly elected president of this chapter. And I look forward to working with you, Mrs. Small, to forge partnerships to see how we can continue to build on that legacy that we have left by Mr. Colin Burrell for his unwavering support. And I did not know until tonight that he is the founder of the Mid-Atlantic chapter. And I want to commend the current president and the outgoing president for what they have done in partnership with us at Frankfield, our beloved country, to provide opportunities for our over 2,000 students. So the Edwin High School family extends to all its RTS congratulations as you celebrate your 21st annual dinner dance gala. I continue to request your support of our various programs at school, and I will not mention all of them, but there are 3 main programs that drive the school, and that's academics, sports, and infrastructural improvement. I heard Skip spoke about the physics lab, that it was during his time the physics lab was built. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a tour at your beloved country, and you'll realize that this physics lab is basically in the same condition as how Skip left it. So I know later on, Adrian will be doing a boost, a fundraising to revitalize the physics, the chemistry, and the biology labs at school. Your involvement will ensure that our school country remains that beacon of excellence. We are a school of choice. No longer country is seen as an underdog. It is a school that has done well over the years. It is a school that is sought after for many, many opportunities for students there at country. So please feel free to reach out to me
after this function to see how you can contribute to the many programs that we have. My contact number is 876-233-8278. That's 876-233-8278. And as we embark on our pen release journey, and I know that you are disappointed with the results at chance, but we are working assiduously hard to go to pen release later this month and to do well. So if you want to contribute to the pen release team, you can also reach out to your school. So ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I want to assure you that your school is in good hands. We continue to work collaboratively, and I know that with your partnership, with your investment, we can take this school to new heights. So again, thanks for partnering with the Mid-Atlantic chapter, and I look forward to partnering with you to take Concord to new heights. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Harris. Give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Are you guys having a good time? Let's say that. Thank you. Are you having a good time? Because I truly enjoy my own self. You know what? I just want to say to our sponsors, or donors, and those who bought an ad in this year's journal, a big thank you. I want everybody to say to our sponsors, our donors, and those who bought an ad this year, I want you to shout at the top of your lungs, thank you! There are so many of them, and it would take all night if I were to mention all of you. But you were inspired to keep the dream and the vision alive of Edwin Allen High School, which makes us proud wherever they go, even though they may not have won this camp, they call it, right, I've never gone. But they really make an indelible mark on the athletic front. Do you agree? Give those athletes a round of applause. And give yourselves a round of applause. You know, this is a very beautiful garden. I am loving this garden. Some of you are flowers from way back when, out of Africa, out of Europe, all over the place. But you're all beautiful people. And it shows that God is a God of diverse, right? God coming in all color, shape, and size. Because you know that when I was a little boy, they used to call me Big Mouth Michael, and I won't tell you the other part. And I used to be afraid to pass the mirror at home, because in the mornings when I wake up is when you usually get a little swollen. So when I pass, I look in the mirror and wondering who is that in the mirror. Sitting with your big. And I used to not like my lips and wanted to have them augmented. But then one day I was sitting in front of the television watching Sally, who remember Sally Raphael, that talk show host? What's her name? Jessie Raphael. And I saw this Caucasian lady, because I don't want to offend Skips, I won't say white. And she was putting injections in her lips to make them a little fatter. And from that day to this blessed day, I love my lips. I love my lips. You know, I tell you, sometimes some things are good. Some of us remember when we were little bit going to school, we never really tangled, Some of we uniform never look good, some of we hair is short and the bubbles couldn't catch it up. And now look at y'all in the room here now. And I know some of you have memory of remember when she used to that time that she look good now, we never see all the shoes thrown off our foot. So we give each other a wonderful round of applause. It is indeed amazing. I also want to mention that there is a raffle going on. And I want everybody here to buy tickets, because these baskets are amazing. Diana, Cynthia, and all the other members of the committee did hard work in making these baskets lovely. And so $20 give you 4, $30 give you 7, and it's a $40 one still going, Cynthia? And then you have a $40 one, which is one you get. One ticket for $40, but those baskets are worth it. So I want you to take this opportunity. Mr. DJ, you're going to play some dance music and they're going to dance because we all ate, right? Everybody ate? Well, I thought dinner was being served to everyone. You know? But my beloved, are you the maitre d'? Oh, come, and give you a round of applause. Come here now. Come here, man. Come. Let them give you a round of applause. I insist. Come and stand next to me. Come stand next to me. Can you imagine if you and I were to, you know? Oh. All right, so I'm going to ask you to take this opportunity. Those of you who care to dance, you can dance, and then those of you who like some more rapid tickets, feel free to make your way and see a member of the committee to do so. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. The show continues. Thank you.
EAHS, if you want to say a few quick words, really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would be remiss if I didn't say a few words here tonight. As according to Adrian, as the longest serving president and also the founding president of this chapter, I served long enough. And I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me and the organization over the years. And I believe that I'm handing off the baton to a very capable leader, whom from the day she walked in the organization, she can tell you, I said, you're going to be the next president. She didn't know at the time. I just identified that, I said, you're going to be the next president. And guess what? She is the next president. So she's a leader. So I know that, all the mission, vision and mission of this association, I have no doubt that she's going to lead the effort to carry it on as she gave, she shared with you in her speech earlier this evening. And, again, I'm very honored for this illustrious award that you have given me. I am so appreciative of it. Initially, they tried to hid it from me. I only knew maybe this past week. They hid it from me the whole time. And so, again, they wanted to surprise me, but I'm surprised. So, Madam President, I thank you, Adrian and Arthur, and all the members of the board and all the members of the Mid-Atlantic chapter. I certainly appreciate all that you have done to help us realizing the mission of the school and of the association. And I have no doubt that the mission and vision of this association will be carried on by Madam President and the rest of the association. So please continue to support the organization, because every dime that you give goes to the school. Every dime that you contribute goes to the school. And so, we have a dedicated board and a dedicated group of our students who are serving, and I expect that you are going to continue support. So with that, I thank you, and I will continue to serve and representing all your interests and the school board, having been elected to serve as the student association representative to the board. My job is to represent your interests on the school board, and I intend to do just that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, give Mr. Burrell another round of applause. Come on, you can do better than that. He's the reason why we are gathered here this evening. The first time I met Mr. Burrell, it was in Maryland. I didn't know him when he approached me in the restaurant. I was buying my food, and he asked me if I would host the first inaugural fundraising gala over there in Maryland. And I did just that. And now look here now, Midtown House MC. I go places. I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, it was indeed a pleasure and an honor to serve in this capacity. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be a part of this great venture. Jamaican people mean the world to me, every last one of you. As anywhere I go, and I travel extensively around the world, and every time I hear a Jamaican, even if they ignore me, I run up to them and say, "You come from Jamaica?" Me too. We're proud to the people in the crowd. And when certain people have 28 bank accounts, we're still proud. Do not laugh, because I told that person that the account that he holds with he and I, make sure not touch the one there, because it will be held to tell the captain. In any event, I am going to step out of your way and ask Miss Dr. Tracy. Where's Dr. Tracy? Teresa Rada. Please come forward at this time. And she's going to take over from here. This is where I say good night to all of you. My name is Michael Campbell. Again, it was indeed a pleasure to serve you. Give me a hand clap. I actually do the heart rate. My lovely friend, Dr. Jacqueline Payne, and her lovely husband came all the way from Maryland. I told her that if she did not come, I was not going to come. And so she came, and here she is having a good time with us. Give her a round of applause. She's an amazing woman and a dear sister friend of mine, she and her husband. All right, so good evening, good night, and God bless you. Now, did everybody buy raffle tickets? Did everybody buy? You see all these lovely gifts that are going to be given away tonight? Please, Lady Cynthia, can you just take another walk around the room? 4 tickets for $20, 7 for $30. It's worth it, guys. It is worth it. Dr. Teresa Gray? Okay. I'm sorry, guys, I failed to mention that Principal Harris, as you were told earlier, that I run 2 soup kitchens in Jamaica where I feed the homeless, and I was approached by Principal Harris about starting one at Edwin Allen High School. And I'm going to need your support. I'm willing to do it. Anything for every and anyone in Jamaica. So listen, when you hear me start asking for support in order to feed those children over there at Edwin Allen High School, please do not hesitate to support. You can give your treasure, your talent, and your time. We are going to help one person at a time. And because the Lord has blessed us, we're going to bless others. Amen? Indeed, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein, which means all of us. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our principal spoke about the science lab project at the school. So we have a science lab project that we started in, I think it's in 2023. So as you know, Edwin Allen is a well-recognized Jamaican institution with a proud history of academic and athletic excellence. But the science lab, they are in disarray, if I want to put it that way. They have been there since 1964, when the school was opened, and we have not done anything to upgrade these facilities. And if you go there, you'll understand why it is so important for us to work together to fix and modernize these laboratories. If you look in your program, you'll see a sheet like this, everybody, and it has some information, basic information about the project. Last year we took some time off because of the anniversary, and we're going to go back full speed ahead in raising funds to modernize the 3 laboratories. So you can participate with us by acting as a sponsor, an individual contributor, or you want to donate equipment to the project. You can speak to any of our board members that are here tonight, or myself. Board members, are you around? Could you stand for a minute so everybody can see you? Board members? Board members? All right. So you can contribute in 3 ways. So the QR code that you see here, if you scan the QR code on your phone, it takes you to PayPal. So you can do monthly, quarterly, or you want to make a large deposit, you can do that as well through PayPal. We also have Zelle, so you can do Zelle. On this sheet, you'll see the Zelle information where you can Zelle money directly into the account. And you can also do checks. We also take checks. And you have our mailing address here on this document where you can mail stuff to us. We are trying to raise $155,000 US to retrofit the entire lab, 3 laboratories. So I hope you will join us and be a partner with us to make sure that this gets done and this gets done urgently. Thank you again for listening, and if you want to see us, let us know.
Good evening again. On behalf of the Edwin Allen Trust Students Alumni Association Mid-Atlantic Chapter, I want to express our sincere gratitude for your presence and generous contributions to this evening's fundraiser. Your support is vital to our mission of supporting Edwin Allen High School in its athletic and academic endeavors. I would like to thank the members of the planning committee who have volunteered their time by working tirelessly to make this event successful. Can all the members of the planning committee please stand and be acknowledged? The organization would like to thank our MC Commissioner Michael Campbell, who has made us forget about Oliver Samuel for a while. We want to recognize our main guest speaker, Deniz, or Nash, and his lovely wife who came all the way from Sheffield, England to be with us tonight. His presentation took many of us down memory lane and surely warmed our hearts. We want to thank Principal Harris, who came all the way from Jamaica. We want to recognize him for keeping the flag of Edwin Allen on its pedestal where it belongs. We want to thank all the out-of-towners. We have people here from Florida, Utah, Bahamas. We also want to recognize Wendell Kovner for his generous gift to the association. I forgot to mention Washington, D.C. We want to express our gratitude to all the other organizations that have come here to support us tonight. We want to thank AFONA from Jamaica, FEVA, the DNB Edwin Allen Alumni Chapter, other alumni organizations, which include St. Catherine High, Cardinal College, Cornwall, Dinton, York Castle Immaculate High States, representatives from Family Unification and Resettlement Initiatives, and Sweetwater Blossom. If there are any other organizations here that I have not mentioned, can you please stand and state your organization so that you can be recognized? Sorry, I can't hear. You have to talk loud, man, so everybody can hear. High school. Anybody else? What? I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody else. I mentioned a corner. Yes, I did. You're sitting on your ears. Okay. You're forgiven. Anybody else? Is that it? Yes. Okay, thank you for coming. So once again, we want to thank you again for your support. We look forward to continue to work together to support Edwin Allen so it can remain the beacon it is known as. Thank you. And remember to come back next year. Next year, senior moment, always the first Saturday in April. Thanks again.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm just really happy to be here to celebrate and also in support of Edwin Allen High School. So I just want everyone to open up their program, and in here you'll see Made in Jamaica. I am the founder of Made in Jamaica Limited and madeinjamaica.com. And we have an initiative, a fundraising initiative, in which we are supporting schools in Jamaica. And right now we are making custom merchandise for schools in Jamaica. So if you go onto the website, you can definitely support some schools. Right now we're working with Frankfield Primary School. And the reason why I wanted to say that is because there's a connection here with you and most of you. And Frankfield Primary School. Never forget that Frankfield Primary School was where dreams were nurtured for many of us. Okay, there's a connection. And listen, I'm supporting. It is my goal. It should be our goal to help to support the primary schools in Jamaica, especially Frankfield Primary School. I'm advocating for that school. I used to go to that school once, so please. It is also a gateway to Edwin Allen High School for many of us. So when you go onto the website, you're not only supporting buying memorabilia. You can buy a T-shirt or you can buy a mug. These are all keepsakes. But also remember, we're giving back 100% of the profit to Frankfield Primary School. We're working with the principal right now, so I'm asking you kindly to just log on. There's a code on here you can scan and buy it and support the schools in Jamaica. And we will also tell you, because we're transparent, we will also keep you informed of what we are doing, because we want to be transparent. And again, just like we're helping Edwin Allen, just remember, Frankfield Primary School is where a lot of these friendships here were formed. A lot of friendships, values were instilled. So thank you all. Please log on. Remember, madeinjamaica.com. Good evening. Hello, everyone. This is another fun part of the program.
Thank you to all of you who supported the raffle. And so we're going to make sure that we draw the prizes now so we can get to the last part of the program. Again, thank you so much for supporting our athletes. Whatever we make here tonight will definitely go to help our athletes at Penn this year. All right? So does anyone need 2 more minutes to get their money in, or should we just go draw? All right, we'll be drawing now. All right. All right. So now for the first one, that's movie night. So take a look at your tickets and see if you have movie night. The number is 362-8376. 362-8376. Mr. Briscoe, Arthur Briscoe. Pastor intention. This is Pastor basket. Check your ticket. 362-8321. 8321. 8321. Yeah. 8368. 8368. Picture perfect. 8368. 8368. All right, now we're looking at enhance my table. There's a tablecloth, napkins, all the things that you would find on your dining table. 360